I want you to change your words. Often when I'm talking to people, what I find is that they actually have a negative relationship with money when it comes to the words they use about money. Whether it's, I didn't get paid enough, I don't have enough to spend, or that credit card debt is terrible, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a negative vibe. It's not that those things are not true, but if you want to actually create a different reality, because remember, you are the creator of your life. And if you're not using the words of what it is that you want to create, well, then you're going to have negative feelings about it, which then intensifies the vibe. And then you're going to actually manifest what you really actually don't want. And that just perpetuates your suffering cycle. So you're like on the treadmill of life, right? When it comes to money. What's going on, everybody? We are going to talk today about the vibration of money. Yes. Just like music has a vibration, so does your money. Can you see the link between those two things? I know that can be really hard for many of us to actually even stomach, but it's true. Money is energy, no different than you and I are energy. Einstein proved it. E = mc squared. So I'd like to give you today 5 things that you can actually do to shift your vibe with money. Why? Because there are so many of us that are out there that don't have the vibration with our money that we actually truly desire. So it's not an easy task, or everybody would already be doing it. So I'm going to give you these 5 little tips that are really quick, really easy, that you can do, and it's not daunting and heavy like so many people feel that financial challenges are. Okay, ready? Number 1, the first thing that you can do is I want you to change your words. Often when I'm talking to people, what I find is that they actually have a negative relationship with money when it comes to the words they use about money. Whether it's, I didn't get paid enough, I don't have enough to spend, or that credit card debt is terrible, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a negative vibe. It's not that those things are not true, but if you want to actually create a different reality, because remember, you are the creator of your life. And if you're not using the words of what it is that you want to create, well, then you're going to have negative feelings about it, which then intensifies the vibe. And then you're going to actually manifest what you really actually don't want. And that just perpetuates your suffering cycle. So you're like on the treadmill of life, right? When it comes to money. So change your verbiage. Try to catch yourself to say the positive things about the money scenario. Like, for example, instead of the fact that, I didn't get a pay raise, and it's not that you didn't want that pay raise, but maybe just say, you know what? I'm really grateful in this kind of time period and what's going on in the world. I have a job and I have a paycheck and I still desire that pay raise. So I'm going, since I didn't get it from my current employer, maybe I'm going to now make it an option that I'm going to start to put my resume out there, and you will be amazed how when you shift that inside and you shift it with your verbiage, your conversation with your boss and your conversation with friends, all of a sudden is going to change, and you are going to attract something very different in your life. It's amazing. And remember, those old patterns, they're like grooves in our brains, right? So they're a little bit more challenging to get rid of at the snap of a finger. But if you continue to keep consciously doing this, you are going to change your subconscious patterns that are creating your life today. All right, ready? Number 2, we're going to talk about debt. Whether it's student loan debt, whether it's credit card debt, car debt, mortgage debt, family debt, whatever piece of debt that you have, guess what? That vibration of debt, I don't know, do you feel good about that debt? Now, I have some engineers and some computer analysts out there that can completely look at debt as an instrument going, oh, well, I'm only paying 3% on my mortgage and I can make more money at 6% in the stock market. And that may be true, but logically, the numbers may turn out that way. But emotionally, I don't know one person who actually loves to have debt. The day that a person pays off their student loans, the day they pay off their credit cards, the day they pay off their car payment and or their mortgage, I always see huge smiles because it's like a weight that has been lifted off their shoulders. So another key way of actually changing your vibration of money, because remember, if you're vibrating and putting it out there that this debt is weighing heavy, guess what you're attracting back to yourself? More debt. That's exactly how it works, because we live in a universe that is like a hologram. It's like a mirror. So what it is that you put out, because remember, it's your words, your thoughts, and your feelings are your vibration that go out into the universe, right? And then it energetically comes back at you at the same vibration. All right? So anything that you can do to get some kind of plan or strategy to reduce your debt. And I know in my book, Awaken Your Wealth, I give a strategy of how to do that if you're struggling with credit cards and things of that nature. So go online. You can actually get a copy of my book for free, and you just have to pay for the shipping. So let me help you on your journey if you're challenged there. Ready? Number 3. The third way that you can shift your vibe with money is I need you to start to look at from a place of being the observer and no longer the reactor of your financial conversation that you have with yourself on a regular basis. Maybe you're that person that doesn't even open up the envelopes because you don't even want to look at the credit card statements or the investment statements because the market's down at that particular time. It's really interesting what we do as human beings to try to mitigate our reactions, and really, we just need to be the observer. You know, you may want to take on things like meditation, because what happens is our nervous systems get hijacked, and when we're in stressful situations, that increases, and then that vibe goes into how we handle our money. It could be the fight that you have with your spouse, or that you have another sibling who's calling you up yet again to borrow some money, or a friend, or you're out to dinner and somebody is not paying their portion of the bill. All these things can create a reactive trigger in you. We're human. That's normal. So if you can start to get to a place, maybe you use meditation tools, maybe it's a walk out in nature, maybe it's running on a treadmill, whatever that is, to help create more space in your nervous system so that you are no longer reactive with the money stories that come up in your life, and you can start to be the observer and then choose not from a place of being a victim, but choose from a place of actually being empowered and saying, okay, well, this is the menu of options I have today, and which is the choice that I resonate with the most? That way you stay empowered as opposed to being the reactor. Number 4, how do we change our vibe with our money? I want you to get into the flow. And what I mean by that is the cash flow. Many of us use the word budget. Honest to God, I cannot stand the word budget. Why is that? Because budget causes your energy to contract. Nobody likes to be on a budget. You all of a sudden start to act like a teenager going, well, even though I'm on this budget, I could go do this and da-da-da-da. And you know what? Nobody really wants that. So I want you to take the word budget completely out of your vocabulary, and I want you to get into the flow, get into the cash flow. And again, this is something that puts you from a scarcity mindset into an abundant mindset. It takes you out of debt and it puts you into assets and building wealth. It takes you from victim and it puts you into more of an empowered state. All right, you ready for number 5? Number 5, I want you to release lovingly all the people in your life that are reinforcing the patterns and the financial patterns that you no longer want to repeat. Years ago, I remember sitting there going, wow, Julie was always the giver. I was always the one that we all went out and Julie put her credit card down, and I started to notice, wow, I'm spending more money than I actually really want to spend. So then I started to actually only bring cash And when my cash was gone, guess what I did? I didn't drink anymore. I didn't eat out anymore that week. I put myself on a number of what it was that I desired to accomplish all of my goals. And then what did I do? I turned around and realized, oh, some of these people really actually didn't want to go out with me anymore when I wasn't putting my credit card down, because they were takers and I was a giver. Now, all of us have people in our lives. They either help you spend more money. So when you're emotionally triggered, you're going to go and you're going to have a spending hangover the next day. You know, who are those friends that you have that actually reinforce those patterns that you really want to stop? So I would limit, reduce, or eliminate the time that you spend with those people, because they are just reinforcing the parts that you actually don't want to create in your new reality tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. And don't forget, you can choose everything and anything that you want to create in your life, and it all has to do with your vibration. So we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.